Let's talk about stuff in, stuff out. Probably seems obvious, but as long as stuff is coming into our homes faster than it's leaving, we're going to accumulate more clutter. So we can't focus solely on discarding items if we're still bringing new stuff in. For me, I've done a lot of work to minimize my acquisitions. I bring fewer things into my home for sure, but there are still things I have to bring into my life, plus there is passive acquisition, the junk mail, account statements, holiday cards. My greater challenge is discarding items, so I've got a lot of backlog, a lot of old backlog that continues to sit in my house and torture me. Each one of us is different. I know people who are compulsive shoppers, but they seem to have a pretty easy time letting go of things, giving away stuff. Think of it like being in a boat that sprung a leak. We need to bail the water out of the boat, but we also need to plug up the hole so water doesn't keep flooding into the boat. I bail water out very slowly. It was easier for me to try to plug up the hole first, and now I'm really focusing on getting that water out of my boat. You may be able to bail water out really quickly, but if you're still acquiring stuff, you also need to look at plugging up the hole. Almost 2 years ago, I attended a conference where they had presentations on hoarding disorder because I was desperately looking for information and ideas on how to help myself. When I checked in, they gave me one of those reusable tote bags full of promotional goodies, like cheapo sunglasses, a pen, the usual crap. The only thing I needed and wanted was the booklet containing the slides from all of the presentations. I have plenty of reusable tote bags. I didn't want the sunglasses, and I certainly don't need any more pens. Pens seem to be a real thing with us compulsive hoarders, am I right? Anyway, I told the check-in person that I only wanted the informational booklet. Her response was, "But it's free." No. When it comes to material items in my life, nothing comes without a price tag. I may not have to pay cash to get it, but believe you me, that free item will cost me somehow. It will cost me in space, and it will cost me in time and brain cells and energy to figure out what to do with it. I don't need it. I don't want it. Now, these items have already been manufactured. They're going to end up in a landfill, be it now or after I'm gone. That's out of my control. What I can do is limit how much stuff I take into my home. So here are a few things I've done to help minimize my acquisitions. I already mentioned how I have plenty of reusable tote bags. I've made it a habit to bring them with me whenever I go to the store. Plus, I always keep one or two in my car glove box. I absolutely hate bringing home excess plastic bags. Hate it. I also take full advantage of my local library, so much so that I've memorized my 14-digit card ID. The library has a max on how many items you can check out at once, so it limits us. And I make sure to note the due dates in my schedule. I talked about schedules in the third video, preparing for the new year, so check out that video if you haven't already. In video 7, I talked about keeping a shopping list in your wallet. I stick to my shopping list when I'm at the store, so I only buy what I need. I've signed up for paperless billing and statements for almost all of my accounts, a few more to go, but it's helped cut down tremendously on paper clutter. With the statements downloaded on my computer, it's also easier to find a statement when I need to. Instead of digging through piles of paper and making a bigger mess, I can just do a search on my computer. Periodically, I request to be removed from mailing lists. When you purchase something online, you're usually added to their catalog mailing list. Not only do these catalogs add to your paper clutter, they are a temptation to buy more. I gathered a bunch of these catalogs together, sat down, and called each of the vendors asking them to remove me from their mailing list. It only took a few minutes, honestly, and it stopped a lot of unwanted paper from landing in my mailbox. Lastly, I usually bring my own reusable container with me when I go out to eat because I almost always have leftovers and I don't want to bring home a styrofoam or plastic container from the restaurant. Some people may think it's weird, but I don't freaking care. I gotta do what works for me. So try to figure out what works for you.